I'm in Halo Infinite, Andy. I get to say to everybody at home, welcome to the grand finals. I cannot wait to get into this one, my friends. C9 have looked astonishing so far, with the game only being out what feels like, I don't know, I've lost track of complete time, to be honest with you, with the lack of sleep I've had playing the game over the last week. But to get to the level they've been at so quickly, it's going to be a tough ask for Optic Gaming. But if anyone can do it with the momentum behind them, it's going to be the green wall.
That's right. We'll see what Optic has up their sleeve. APG, TriPPPeY, Lucid Pistola, Coach Box in the back, of course. And my God, has Lucid ever looked good. This is going to be a fantastic matchup. Let's take a look at the game types.
Oh, this is going to be interesting to see as well. We're starting off, a reminder to everyone, now we're in our grand finals. Best of 5, friends. Best of 5, so we get an elongated series. And starting off with Aquarius CTF, Andy. We love this one. When we're playing, we love a bit of Aquarius CTF.
We do, one of our favorite game types, and I bet a lot of people watching at home who have been playing this week, one of their favorite game types as well. Plays like a pretty traditional 2-base, 2-tower CTF map of old. You made the comparisons earlier to the midships, to the heretics, to the onslaughts. It's going to play very similar fast-paced 2-base, 2-tower gameplay in that game number 1.
Well, the series itself, as we look at it, I think this is very good for Optic Gaming. Reason being, Oddball Game 3, I think C9 win any oddball game against any team in the world. They probably beat 2 teams at once at the moment with how strong they seem to be. But that being at, in the middle of the series, maybe gives Optic a little bit of a chance to get into it, especially with StelluR Bazaar, which is, a game type where you can play at a pace, but you can also get caught off guard quite easily. And Optic might like to mix it up a little bit there.
I agree. Great first 2 game types for Optic. If one of those was swapped, if say the Aquarius CTF was swapped with the Strongholds Streets, etc., you'd have a very different series. This game 1 and game 2 are definitely opportunities for Optic to play pretty well. Maybe some less traditional play here. Don't play at the exact pace of C9. That Oddball Recharge, I agree, it's probably a C9 game. But man, if they can get those 2 games on the board, they could really send this one the distance. Let's remind everyone at home as well, if Optic does win, that will reset the bracket. We will go to a second best of 5. And hey, on our first day of Halo Infinite broadcast, I would not mind a bracket reset.
I do. Keep it going. Start the tournament again. Let's get 400 plus. Let's get 500 plus teams. Let's just go again. Honestly, this has been a lot of fun this week, and I can't wait till next week, to be honest with you. But before we get there, we've got to deal with what is in front of us. And look at that stat, Andy, by the way. Cloud9 has not lost a map in the entire tournament.
Yeah. I think that that
I don't
tells
think you really need to follow up with anything, do you?
Nope.
It's a statement.
I think that tells you everything.
Well, there you go. That's Cloud9 doing what they do. But I think for Optic, what do you think is the key to success for them in this series? Because one thing I've seen them doing very well against Sentinels was controlling not only the power-ups, but the equipment as well. And the weaponry, the sandbox that's available on the map. They always had something that they could get a little bit of an edge in a fight.
Yeah, I think Optic needs to continue to do what they did well in these last few series. That is things like getting the first pick. That is letting Lucid just loose, because the fact that he's putting up 9K damage in a game where no one else has even within 2,000 of him is just absolutely insane. The numbers that he's putting up are wild. Also, I love the communication we're hearing from them. You might have heard during their matches and yesterday and scrims prior to that, they've been pretty hard on each other in terms of the things they weren't doing well, the things they should have been communicating. You and I saw some Bazaar games last night that we watched them play in, and I believe actually that was a C9 series, if I'm not mistaken, from day number 1. So they know what they were doing wrong in those prior matches, and I'm excited to see if they can keep the momentum from the elimination bracket in these games here, especially in game 1 and 2.
Well, one thing that they've got on their side as well is there's a little bit of a mental hurdle, right, that they've just overcome against Sentinels. Sentinels have always had the better of a lot of the players on this Optic Gaming lineup back in Halo 5, but now with a new game, you get out and you get over that mental hurdle. That is a huge thing for a team to know that even though it's just one event, right, even though it's just one series, to take them over so quickly and to win that big series, you just feel like you could beat anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the fact, like you said, the fact they're coming off of the pressure they had just now, but also the way, if you were watching the way Optic played those games, really smart movements, really smart routes. I was just pointing out things like when Lucid goes from nest to tower, staying high, picking up 4 kills in a row by maintaining elevation over on tower, on live fire. Just these little things that I'm already noticing that Optic is doing really correctly and right this early in the game. That's showing me a lot of signs of promise from them. They've picked up this game quickly, but of course on the other side of the stage, so has C9.
It's going to be a very good series, but one thing that's really good as well is Halo Infinite and some of the cool stuff that you can do in game. And one of the things you can do is to do with the scan, Andy, and we're going to have a quick look at that right now, because one thing we've been talking about all day, right, is equipment. We've been talking about equipment, because it is such an integral part of Halo Infinite. And you were mentioning to Richie Hines there, you were saying, the balancing as a game designer to get this kind of thing right is absolutely massive.
It is, and here's you're going to see a little bit look at the threat sensor here. Of course, not in the ranked playlist, I don't believe, but you're going to see it, of course, in different maps all around. One of the pieces of equipment that is going to exist in Halo Infinite, going to give you all sorts of information like you just saw on screen. But I have to say, within the game and within the ranked playlist, it's absolutely it's a design. Quite a design accomplishment, a design marvel. You know, for many years, the word equipment has been a bad word in competitive Halo. When you talk about the launch of Halo 3, right, when you talk about the launch of Halo 3, we won't go into how much of that equipment was featured in MLG settings. However, it's a very different story in Infinite. Onset, here we go, game number 1 of our grand finals.
I was about to say, let's forget about those numbers. Let's talk about game at number 1, the only number that matters as we get into our grand finals for the first time here in Halo Infinite. Cloud9, who have not lost a map so far across this tournament, go up against Optic Gaming, who have just taken down Sentinels in some style as well. This is going to be an amazing series, everybody. Grab your popcorn, settle in, because this is going to be some special Halo Infinite.
This is going to be fantastic. This is the moment we came for. By the way, tens of thousands of you on Twitch alone and other platforms, so many more as well. Thank you for tuning into the very first NA broadcast here for Halo Infinite. It has been an amazing week for the Halo community and the competitive Halo community, especially as we kick things off right away in this weekend's tournament. It's just been so much excitement, so much energy in the community, and it's right now time for our very first grand finals in North America. C9 and Optic Gaming. As we said, CTF Aquarius, a very fast-paced game type that we're expecting to see big things out of both of these teams, and this will be a tone setter for our grand finals.
Well, what a way to start things. My favorite game type so far in Halo Infinite as well. Over to Aquarius. Now, like Andy said, if you haven't seen this map before, if you're watching Halo Infinite for the first time, firstly, welcome along, and we hope that you stay for some time indeed. But it's an arena-style map. 2 bases, flags either side of it. We play to 5. Control that camouflage top middle is going to be absolutely vital, Andy.
It absolutely is, and also when you pop that camo, we've seen a lot of interesting plays between these two teams in terms of how they have to play that camo. It's not the easiest to get, as you might expect. You really do need to have at least numbers or angles in order to be able to get that, and how and when you pop that is going to be interesting. We are jumping into the grand finals, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, C9 versus Optic Gaming.
Oh, it feels good to be back, Andy. Halo is back, we're back, and it's now down to Cloud9 and Optic Gaming to decide who is going to be the champion of our first tournament here in Halo Infinite. Early damage being done by Optic Gaming, though. They pick up the first kill, and it looks like TriPPPeY managed to take down Eco as well, and that might be able to secure them the first camo of the game as well.
Looks like a camo as well as a pull, picking up a few more kills as well. That's going to be just 1 dead, so they're going to have to reset, as you do see 2 dead for the side of Optic as well. As a reminder here, Cloud9 coming in from the winner's bracket, so Optic Gaming will need to win 2 best-of-5s to win this tournament.
It's going to be a tough ask for sure. However, you never know. 1 series under your belt, 1 cap under your belt, and all of a sudden you think that you might be able to do something a little bit special, but at the moment, it's going to be Ola with that thrust, which he's managed to pick up. He manages to survive for now. He's going to go back for that grab of the flag as well. And a couple of slays seem to be falling in their favor here. That was 3 dead momentarily for Cloud9, and that might be all 4, as it looks like Lucid picks up the final one, and Ola might be able to run this one home.
He's going to bring that in. Look at the patience. Look at the veteran plays that are coming in there from Ola. Also going to hide behind the pillar, angle himself away, manages to cap, going to hide as well as long as he can. Just great stuff here coming in from Ola. He'll probably eventually die, yes, but great plays from him. Look at the patience as well, using that thrust bottom middle, pull coming in from the other side as well, though.
And the flag will go out, but a couple of kills will be traded, so this isn't going to be a clean run here for Cloud9 in response. But I mentioned how important game number 1 is here for Optic Gaming. Getting out to that kind of start, getting a flag on the board is massive for them, Andy.
It really is. It's a great start. They could not be happier in terms of how that went. Like we said, lots of patience from them as well. Pistola using that thrust perfectly. You have to wonder, maybe he wanted to get the thrust pull around bottom middle, but even though that didn't work out for them, they're still able to take their time, get that cap in, maintain the slays on the board. Like you said, they go up 1-0 here in game number 1.
2 fall as well, just as that camo is going to be coming up. And who's on it? It's Pistola. Pistola has been controlling those power-ups so well. Some nice shots onto Renegade as well, but he has the thrust to get away. And not only does he get away, 2 kills fall across the map as well, but this is the man who has been a difference maker for Optic Gaming so far. It's Lucid, and there he is again.
My
Picks
God.
up 2 in a row as Eco finally shuts him down.
Beautiful swapping there of the wave and the VR bottom middle, just putting those kills together so cleanly, making it look very easy, like he's done for the past few rounds, if we're honest here. Great shots coming in once again from the side of Renegade. He'll maintain top control here.
Yeah, it wasn't just the shots, it was the strafe as well. The man was wobbling around like he had jelly legs. It was difficult for Trippy to do anything else, but one way to deal with it is get that AR and just charge forward. The trade will come in, as now we're going to see a battle go down on the generator side of things, and it's going to be one here by Eco. He'll be able to shut down Pistola, which has been difficult to do in the last couple of series.
And we could not ask for a better grand finals. The fact that you have battles like that, Eco versus Pistola, I mean, just look at the names on the left side and right side of the screen. These are historic Halo names in terms of some of the best Halo players to ever play in the world, so it's no surprise to see them in our grand finals of our very first HCS Open.
Eco picks up another kill as well. That'll be the first one in the team fight, so it looks like a little bit of a stalemate across the map for now, but map control will be seized by Cloud9 as they move forward. A couple of players dropping from Optic Gaming, as now you'll see the decision has been made, the flag has been pulled, and Eco will move in to run this one towards his teammate Penguin, who's just spawned up on the plant side. But a little bit of a fumble there. No fumble whatsoever. He knows better than I. He pops out, cleans up that kill, and Eco keeps this flag moving.
Yeah, that works out really well for him. I think he did kind of go a little past the flag, but Lucid happened to be bottom middle. They're going to be able to bring this flag tying one in. You have to expect, yes, indeed, we're tied 1-1 just like that. So we have a fantastic game number 1 on our hands already.
Looking across the stats at the start of this game, Lucid 10-5. Yep. A hot start for him once more. Ola a little bit slower. And on the other side of things, it's been pretty even across the board, to be honest with you, for C9. Not quite getting the slays they would have wanted, but being outslayed, to be fair, looking at it a little bit more closely, as Eco will do some defensive work on his side, but Camouflage once again will be going over to Optic Gaming here. And it seems like they're doing a really good job of controlling that.
They really are. They've been on top of that. And like you said, Lucid, though, also just making sure that he stays on top of the board. 11-6 right now in this game as we go on board with him, taking his time, deciding exactly when he wants to engage and timing it very well, unsurprisingly. I mean, right now, making a statement in this event, you would not be crazy to say that he's one of the best, if not the best player in the game. Based on the stats, look at the stick as well on Eco, making this look way too easy.
It's almost as if you set him up for that one. One of the best players, if not the... There's the stick. Now we'll find Renegade in the base as well. Oh, that was shocking to me to see him miss one bullet. And it cost him. That is the level of Halo that we are playing right now. One bullet is all it takes as his life is thrown away. And now it'll be up to Renegade to jump back up to top middle here to top needles, try and get some damage, but he's being swarmed. The thrust back though might help him out. And oh my Renegade! That is nasty from you!
You have got to be kidding me there. That tells you just how valuable that thrust is. They're perfectly timed. And when you've got a player as skilled as Renegade plus a piece of equipment like the thrust, able to string together plays like that, they're also trying to string together another flag run.
Off the back of that huge play, Renegade opens the door here for Cloud9 to maybe get that flag running. They'll be checking the front of the base now, making sure that nobody sneaks in behind. A touch on the flag is going to come in, but nobody's looking for Renegade, and now he will be able to get that touch. High IQ play there, but will be shut down momentarily.
Yeah, very good flag bait there. Trippy. Both flags are going to be out, so we'll need to be careful. Good double kill there from Trippy, and Penguin's also down low as well.
This is huge battles going down once again. The thrust having an impact, and Ola manages to get the flag returned by the looks of things, and they are keeping it alive as well here, Optic Gaming. Renegade will slow it down for now, but look at Ola. He's coming up, pick up the crumbs. He gets the flags in his hands, and Ola, who picked up the first flag, will be putting in the second here by the looks of things for Optic Gaming.
I love that play. Take a look at that. Really important moment there as well. Trippy was up top, and I was expecting, you might have heard me say it, going for that flag toss. No, Trippy stays up top base and actually picks up a double. So that tells you just how important slaying and even overslaying is in Halo Infinite already.
Penguin going to be caught out though. Lucid, he's going to pick up 2, and this man has just been on a different level, it feels, since the last time we saw him on our screens. That'll be 3 falling by the looks of things, even though it will actually be 3 from his team. So at the moment, it's going to be him just trying to stay alive with the wave, which, by the way, I like as a thing to call this. And he's going to be looking to fire some shots across the map. There's one. There's another deletion into the kill feed as Lucid is once again going wild. Picks up 2 again. Another spree for him. 19 and 11 on the map for the Optic man.
By the way, I saw it in the chat a little bit during the past few series. A lot of people coming into chat. Look at the shots there from StelluR against Ola. Some really nice shots, and also going to try to continue on out of the base as well. They will get the return. A lot of players asking in chat, who is Lucid? Some players that might not have been following towards the end of Halo 5. Of course, the artist formerly known as Saiyan, not the second Saiyan. The second coming of Saiyan, now known as Lucid. And my God, does he ever have numbers on the board? 20 kills right now to his name.
And one thing I love about that name change, he said he wanted to create his own era. He wanted to be his own player and not be compared to a former pro. Well, if he's starting off this way as Lucid, I think everybody who's playing against him will want him to change his name back, because he's just absolutely beaming at the moment. And so is Pistola too. Great shots on the player bottom middle to clean that one up, and some decent shots on the player top plants as well. The score still 2-1 here as we have around 4 minutes and 15 seconds remaining.
Another killing spree for Lucid. Absolutely wild here. We'll see what Ola's going to be able to do bottom middle as well. But one thing that we're seeing from Optic is they're really controlling those front bases, really controlling bottom middle, and you have to have the support. The only way you control those areas is if you do have the 2 towers held as well. It really gives you the opportunity, as Ola takes down Renegade again, to really run bottom middle and continue to use. Look at Ola not backing down no matter what. So much help on top mid, and just a one-man show here finally gets taken down.
Yeah, Pistola trying to shut down that camo, and he just did a couple of shots into Penguin, and that's what made the difference, right? It makes the cleanup so much more easy on the player who's holding that power up. So even though Cloud9 did get the camo in their hands, they managed to pop it. There was no effect from it. So a great job from Optic Gaming just to shut down the power up player.
And that's really all they need to do here. 3 minutes 30 on the clock. Continue playing the same game. Either grab the power up, deny it, force the burn, and just continue playing this game where they're controlling so well. And right now, if they continue playing this exact strategy, this exact game, they're going to close this game out.
Shots on the player down bottom pink. It's all up now to Cloud9 to be the aggressors. They won't need to be asked twice about that, as you can actually see there's a little flank coming in from Cloud9. Renegade trying to put some shots down. It's StelluR who's the man making the flank. They pick up the kills in the base, and this is starting to look like an opportunity to move that flag here for Cloud9. They only need one to tie it up. Can he get around this corner? Oh, he has to breathe in, but he manages to just about do so. If he wins this, it will be massive. And StelluR is going wild here on the needle side.
A huge set of plays, a huge route that he took, somehow wins that battle against TriPPPeY as well. He gets the flag all the way back. They should be able to pick this up because there's 3 dead. Last guy here on the Lightning. If they're going to be able to get this one, I think they're going to be able to get the touch. They leave the kill for Renegade, and they're going to bring this flag in, and we're going to have a tie game here towards the end of game number 1.
What a way to start the day here in our grand finals, 2-2, as Cloud9 answer back, and Lucid manages to pick up a kill in the feed with a sticky grenade, but at the moment you have to say that was all about the flank and the setup for the execution from Cloud9. It was beautiful to watch.
Absolutely beautiful. Renegade played that so well to get around the corner the way that he did, and the fact that he's able to pull that out and then even get that kill on TriPPPeY. TriPPPeY's going to be wishing he had that moment back, because he actually had Renegade taking the time to throw the nade wall one shot the whole time. TriPPPeY needs to brush that off though, get right back into it, because here we are, tie game, 2 minutes left in game number 1.
2 minutes left, and those shots from Penguin, they're starting to warm up a little bit. One thing to point out here, one player struggling just a little bit is APG. He's 7-19 at the moment with 10 assists to his name, as Penguin is just raining down shots on everybody who's dressed in green.
I do want to say, we were giving so much love to Lucid earlier on in the game, but as you point out, Renegade is now the player to watch. 26 kills. He will now take the lead for most kills in the game, just over Lucid.
Looks like there might be another flag pull coming in here for Cloud9 as well. Optic have got to pick up kills, and they've got to pick them up quick here. Eco is going to find one, though, for Cloud9. Penguin gets taken down, and that is what was needed. Here comes Renegade, though, flying forward to take over that position here. Top plant, such a vital spot on the map.
Yeah, 2 are dead for both sides just now, so you should see a little bit of just tug of war here as players on Optic kind of clean out their base, and they're able to pick up at least 1 kill in the back, so we should see them regain a little bit of control around top mid here, and now really this next push onset could win the game.
Overextension coming in here from Lucid. Has the sidekick in hand as well. He's going to go for the pull towards a teammate. And keeping our eyes on the feed here and keeping our eyes on who's alive and who's dead. There's 4 alive at the moment as Ola has gone down, which means he's going to have to run it towards a teammate here. They get it back into their engine here, Andy, but they've got to be so careful, as they will have to wait for those respawners to come in. Cloud9 swoop in, though. They might be able to get this return. They do indeed. That will be sent back home, and now Optic have got to be careful, so careful of the counter cap.
Man, C9 perfectly times that I mean, you have to wonder, Optic really didn't have numbers up top. They were kind of trapped there in that bottom corner, as you saw, and it really came back to bite them. That flag will get reset, and we will stay just like that, all netted up 20 seconds before overtime here, still tied 2-2.
14 seconds remaining. Will anyone be able to get a flag moving? That's the question here. Or will we be going to overtime? It looks like that might be the case, Andy. No one really in position unless we hear that siren very soon. Players flying forward, trying to see what they could do, but this is the kind of game we wanted, Andy, right? We wanted this to be close. We wanted this to be tight, and it's looking like that is the case. Sudden death is where we go, Andy. Add some more time on the clock.
There we go, and like you said, this is exactly what we want to see, right? We want to see more Halo, we want to see more rounds, as much as we can get out of these two teams, because my God, this is one of the best days in a long time. As we will continue on here, sudden death overtime for game number 1 here, Aquarius CTF between C9 and Optic Gaming.
Map reset completely. Dynamo Nade's going to be picked up here by StelluR. Such a strong, impactful weapon. Or I should say, part of the sandbox, those grenades. 2 kills will actually go to C9 here, and it wouldn't be surprising after everything that Optic Gaming gave in that first half, if you like, of this map, to see the opening strategy work strongly. And look at this, the flag is going across the map already. Eco already up onto this platform. Big play coming out from TriPPPeY, though. The question is, will he be able to stay alive long enough, or will his teammates be able to stay alive long enough to get shots onto StelluR, who's moving in? It's actually Penguin, and oh why, that's how quick Cloud9 can turn it on, Andy. And they will take home map number 1.
That is the Cloud9 story, right? That's what we're used to seeing from them, and what an amazing game number 1 it was. And then we go to sudden death OT, and C9 just strings together that run. They put the kills on the board perfectly. They closed out game number 1. They'll close that out in sudden death overtime with his final score of 2-1. And I don't even know what to say. So that's what Cloud9 does. I think that OT was less than 2 minutes as they close that one out.
Well, this is the stats from the game. We'll look at damage dealt and damage taken, as well as some of the other stats that are going to be popping up in front of us right now. And it was a battle between Renegade and Lucid by the looks of things, but I did mention the outlier a little bit here. APG struggling ever so slightly in that game, Andy. But, I mean, it's got to be a bit of a heartbreaker, that game for Optic. You know, up 2-1 for so long, and just at the end, they give that flag away. And then the opening strategy from C9 too strong.
Absolutely. We'll take a look at the kills, deaths, and assists as well in that one, because in the end, it was Renegade and Lucid going tied up. Wait a minute. 30 kills apiece, 22 deaths apiece, and 8 assists apiece for the exact same KDA. You do not always see that in a CTF that lasts over 13 minutes.
That's very true. We'll look at the accuracy as well. Maybe that's the one way that we can split the 2 players. And it's, hey, Lucid gets it, but just. He gets it just. And he fired more shots, so I think you got to give it to Lucid. But I mean, let's be real. You give it to Renegade because they came out with a win. Yeah,
absolutely. Those 2 players really standing out on their respective sides and stepping up big in a big way. Lucid was running the game for a while, and you could say that Renegade, of course, alongside the whole team, but Renegade was the one who turned it on the most for that C9 side and was a huge part of the way that they closed that game out, because for a while we did not see Renegade on the board in such a big way as Lucid, and then slowly catches up to him. So all of Renegade and all of C9 and Renegade especially turning it on there in game number 1, they'll take game number 1.
Well, let's take a look at the replays of game number 1. As we say, we went to overtime. We went the full distance pretty much on Aquarius, capture the flag, but it was the hot start that came out from Optic Gaming. This is what they needed, Andy. It was almost immediately they got that first flag on the board, and all of a sudden you felt, hey, these guys are really onto something here. They're matching Cloud9 shot for shot.
Yeah, and what's brutal for Optic is it's exactly as you talked about on set. They needed to come out strong here. They needed to come out hot here. That was going to give them not only the game on the board, but you know these players. When we talk about Ola, Lucid, TriPPPeY, APG, these are momentum players. These are players that when the comms are good, look at the stick from Lucid as well. These are players that when the comms are hot, they can really turn on. And that really applies to a player like Ola. When his team is firing on all cylinders, they are going to get ready and get right into it. So it's a heartbreaking loss for Optic, but they need to bounce back. Sounds like game 2 is already ready.
Well, I was going to say, I'm going to borrow a phrase from you. Get ready, we're ready. As we're heading into our game 2. Bazaar is where we're headed. Slayer is the game type. And now I start to worry a little bit for Optic Gaming. I wonder if this one gets out of hand, if the series will be done and dusted, and Cloud9 will be running home as your first champions of Halo Infinite. But, as I say, Bazaar, dynamic spawns. You're going to have to be, you know, head on a swivel every single time that you pick up a couple of kills on this map, because that spawner behind you can really hurt you, Andy.
They can. If you saw Optic's games yesterday, you heard in their comms that they were not happy with the way that they were pushing out of tree into corner, not having an anchor around rockets. They weren't pushing out of bar or BR enough. You heard a lot of that in their comms, so I expect them to be on top of that today. But really the big thing in Slayer is make sure they're not looking at 6-7 kill deficits that are getting even bigger. They need to maintain control, and if they start to trail a bit, slow the game down. Do not let Cloud9 start to run away, because it will give them way too much of a cushion.
Game 2 is live, everybody. Optic Gaming chasing the series already. Cloud9 looking devastating as always. Still yet to drop a map in this tournament. And not only that, they're picking up the kills at the start here. They've got the overshield in hands here of APG. Excuse me, it's actually APG who's managed to pick that one up, as that will be a hot start for Optic Gaming, this is what they needed, Andy. They needed to get this hot start. They needed to get control of weapons and power-ups. It looks like they have done.
They have done. Also, Ola does have those rockets up as well, so that's going to give them a nice little bit of an early lead. Surprising to see the fact that we were able to get Optic there with a pretty much free overshield grab. Certainly some of the kills that they got around the bridge, around that front door, being a huge part of that. And right now they'll get a little bit of a lead here, 5-1 off the break.
APG starting to snap onto some targets as well. He was the man who struggled a little bit in the last game. Maybe this is where he puts things right. Penguin versus APG. Penguin will win that one, but not after APG did some good damage himself. And another kill going to be traded out here. 6-3, 8-3, excuse me, doubling up, more than doubling up on the score of their opponents.
And now this is where Optic needs to determine where do they apply the pressure, where do they slow it down. It's a killing spree early on for TriPPPeY as well. That was happening off screen. You're wondering why they're winning. Well, it's a 5-kill difference, and TriPPPeY's on a killing spree. This man is the difference.
Dynamo nades going down as well. When you ask why we talk about them all the time, well, there's your answer. Throws that one into the trench, picks up a kill as well. And we talk about Sandbox, how important it is to control weaponry in Halo. Probably never been as important as it is here on Halo Infinite, as you see the Bulldog now available for Pistola.
Lucid will go down now 13-6, but this is a sizable lead here for Optic, and we've seen them at this point in the tournament so far. They need to hold on to this. They need to understand when to apply the pressure and when to slow the game down. Right now, if they do start to get the right picks, they will need to collapse. You do not want to give C9 the room that they're looking for.
Lucid will be taken down, just caught off guard a little bit there. Over-engaged, you could argue, with the player that was up in the bar. There's another Dynamo nade onto Renegade. That's going to be ticking away, and there's an overshield being grappled back. However, that one wasn't quite as deliberate, and it's actually going to cost him. That little mistake of not picking up the OS and hitting a second grapple means the OS is now in the hands of Cloud9.
We are going to need to see that on replay. Like you said, Ola does not engage the OS. Instead, switches. It looks like he must have picked up grapple again there. Just a little bit of a slip of the buttons because he grapples again while dropping the overshield. We'll get that in slow-mo afterwards, but certainly a devastating result, and it would have meant a lot of a different sequence of events that would have followed, but still a 4-kill lead here for Optic.
4-kill lead, but that can change very, very quickly as Renegade has just picked up one. Eco trying to get into a sneaky position here just to stay alive, wait for those shields to come back before re-engaging. Also has the Bulldog, so if anyone decides to find themselves a home bottom mid, that's exactly what's going to happen. APG tries to get sneaky, and he gets hit in the head with a Bulldog.
And you have to wonder how much they're thinking about what just transpired, because now here we are, just like that, 18-15, only a 3-kill difference. But luckily for Optic, it looks like they have their heads held high. They're looking to continue on the momentum. They regain the lead by 4. Once again, rockets in hand as well for TriPPPeY. Going to try to keep these around here and see if he can sneak 2 kills, maybe even more with these as he starts to push low.
Yeah, this is massive here for Optic Gaming. Getting control of this rocket launcher kind of guarantees you 1 or 2 kills, right? If you play it right. And he's trying to play a position here where he's baiting in any member of Cloud9. He wants to go on a flank, and he looks like he's found a little bit of prey right now. He decides to strike, and that's what he was hoping would happen, and that's exactly what did happen. A beautiful play from TriPPPeY, and a good play as well, being set up for that. Optic Gaming trying to bait in those players.
Absolutely, and right now TriPPPeY's playing this smart because he doesn't have a ton of support. So where could he go? He goes bottom because no one's going to drop on him. If they do, he'll have the jump on them right away. So instead of sitting top, second rocket will hit as well. Finally, he does get collapsed on. Doesn't have too much help around, but he picks up StelluR on the way down and lives to tell the tale.
Oh my word, TriPPPeY writing chapters in his new novel. That's a wonderful bit of play from TriPPPeY. Not only picking up the kills, not only making the most of those rockets, but surviving through it all. And now it's going to mean that lead is getting extended even more. But while all that's happening, the other side of the map is where we need to focus ourselves. Eco has picked up the next OS, and that's 2 in a row now for C9.
Shout out to TriPPPeY, and also shout out to our production team. You wouldn't always think that a bottom player's trapped rockets was where the action was going to be, but that's exactly how it went down. TriPPPeY forces everyone towards him and manages to use those rockets so well, picks up an extra kill and stays alive, like you said, maintaining a 5-kill lead here.
Dynamo nades picked up once again by Eco. You can see how much Cloud9 are prioritizing those, Andy. It's just a great indication of, especially on Bazaar, clearing out the hut, clearing out BR, clearing out the house. All of these places, you can do so much damage. They will chain off of those weapon pads as well to do even more. And now Eco's going to get slid on, though, and it's TriPPPeY once again making plays.
Absolutely, and right now they've done so well to maintain the lead. They did not slow things down too much. They made sure to push when they needed to, and they're able to just continue this 6-point lead. This is what they have to do, and they can never slow down. The second they let up, we've seen C9 do it all day. They still haven't dropped a game here. For those of you just joining us, Cloud9 in the grand finals yet to drop a map, but right now trying to make it happen. But Renegade wants to say something about that. Now it's just like that. It's a 4-kill game. Can he stay alive here against Ola as well?
No!
Gets the kill as well, bottom mid. So just like that, here we go, 30-28. It's a 2-kill game, and C9 looking dangerous.
Can he stay alive? The man is a mangler, and the man don't miss. There's only one result. Renegade is playing out of his mind in this series. Looking over his stats at the moment, he's 12-5. Andy, 12-5. That's ridiculous, but they're still down by 2 here, and Optic Gaming have been in this position before. The question for me now is, can Optic Gaming maintain that lead? This next push is vital, because if the game gets tied up, you have to feel like the momentum once again swings back to C9.
It is TriPPPeY trying to make the push here on Renegade. It's a very good looking push, but not sure if he's going to have the angle he does. He gets the help that he needs right there. That's a big kill on Rockets, because Rockets have just popped, so we'll see what Optic might be able to do here, getting drilled from the bridge as well as the corner, but still going to get a 3-kill lead here for the moment.
They got the OS. Look at Ola. No mistakes this time. Ola has moved in with Lucid to get control of that overshield, and that's a huge moment in this game. I asked, will they be able to keep that momentum? Will they be able to keep C9 at bay through this next period of play when the power-ups and the rockets will be appearing? They've answered that question. They have done, and now Pistola's looking to turn this into kills.
Oh, gets a nice bit of damage on Renegade as well. Might pick up 2 here if he can. Yes, indeed. Ola with the double kill on the bottom of the map. A huge play from Pistola. Tries to find 3. We'll see if he can with the Bulldog. Yes, indeed. Gets the help. Will take down 3 kills just like that. 36-31 in favor of Optic Gaming.
Oh, but it's great to see Pistola back doing what he does best, and that is quite simply taking over games of Halo, 36-31. But even with that, Andy, you can see how hard you have to work just to eke out any kind of lead, as now you can see Optic Gaming trying to capitalize, 38-33, although it looks like here TriPPPeY will be able to pick up another one, so that lead is starting to extend a little bit more.
Like you said, just like that, still a 6-kill game, and my God, has Optic ever had to work for it. They have pulled off miracle plays time and time again, but they managed to string them together in a way that's given them this lead here, 39-33. The Slayer has been playing out incredibly. Picks up another kill on Penguin with help. Looks like they're going to continue working on this BR side as well. That's a double for TriPPPeY.
Oh, if he could have survived there by sneaking through the doors, it would have been even more impressive. As a look at the kills, by the way, TriPPPeY? TriPPPeY? 20-7? You read that right, folks. 20-7 for TriPPPeY, and it's only right that we're watching his POV right now.
Absolutely. He's only 15 kills shy of the entire team, by the way, with numbers like that, 20-8. And not over yet, though, folks. We're talking about how good Optic looks right now, but let's not forget, this is a 42-37 game, and C9 is going to look to make sure that this one goes the distance. Optic needs to make sure they play this well. 2 red X's on Lucid's screen.
Trying to clean up this player on the balcony as well. A lot of players trapped down bottom mid here for C9, and opportunities if they want to push it for Optic Gaming to clean them up. They do manage to pick up 4v4 on the map now. Now they make that aggressive push. Lucid working so well with his teammate, and all of a sudden we're just a few kills away. I think C9 might be resigned to this one now, because Optic have roared back into this series, and it's all down to the likes of TriPPPeY and Ola with those huge plays when it mattered.
Lucid plays that so well at the end, just doing so much damage as a solo player on Rocks, manages to get so many kills and so many lighting up players all around, bottom overshield, bottom mid, and then works with his team off the respawn to get those kills just like that. They're only 4 away from closing out game 2.
TriPPPeY's going to drop down bottom mid. He's going to find Renegade. It's always a tough battle, and Renegade makes them work hard for this win. He stays alive for now as they cross the 40 kill mark themselves. 47-41, but Rockets in the hands of Cloud9. And we've seen them do things like this before, Andy. They can make these crazy comebacks.
Wow, look at that. It looks like Renegade, he does get taken down. He took the time. Looks like he took the time to ping the Bulldog on Rockets. I'm not sure if it was necessary, because in the end, he will go down, but Eco picks up that one. So just like that, 48-44. This is still not over. We've seen what C9 has done all weekend long, and they could come back here with a heartbreaking victory. Optic needs to make sure they play this well.
Eco just playing the vents, playing the rat spot, and waiting for any opportunity for a player just to poke a foot, an ankle, a toe, whatever it might be. And that Rocket will be trying to find home extremely quickly. Just 2 kills to go for Optic Gaming.
Ooh,
Eco's gonna get that one.
Doesn't get the grapple.
And it's going to go wrong because Cloud9 cannot close out. Optic Gaming see the opportunity to push. They do so. We're tied up at 1-1. Boy, we got a series.
Wow, off screen there, both of those kills coming in as we saw what Renegade was trying to do, grappling across, and my God, you know that he knows that that works, and that's something that he has tried in practice this week. This time he doesn't get the jump. They will lose that 50-45, and here we are with a tied series 1-1 in our grand finals.
Now we head over to Oddball on Recharge, and I have already stated I don't think anyone's beating Cloud9 on Oddball right now. I just think they're too good at it, quite simply. We'll take a look at the stats from that last game before we start looking forward. But TriPPPeY, I mean, he couldn't have done much more for his team. A positive 12 ratio for him, 22 and 10. On the other side of things, Renegade, again, a huge performance from him. But it was a super tight game right up until those final moments, Andy, where we saw just one push change the game as OS went into the hands of Optic Gaming.
Yeah, let's take a look at the damage as well, just to see exactly how things went down, since we have so many deep stats here. So take a look, Renegade, like you said, on 4,000 damage, but Lucid also on 4,500 damage as well. Those two neck and neck in the damage department.
Yeah, TriPPPeY, 5K. Not too bad if you ask me in a team slayer. That's what you want to see from one of your players. So impressive. Accuracy on the right-hand side for you as well as shots fired, which is always a stat that I love to see, Andy, because you know if someone's shooting their gun, you know if they're holding angles, pre-shooting little angles and doorways that people might be coming out of. I always like to see shots fired being right up there.
I tell you what, you and I have had a few teammates in ranked, and we've wondered after the game on set, how many shots were these guys shooting? And it turns out not a whole lot of shots.
Yeah, I wonder if they actually spawn with a VR, but you know that's a question for another day, Andy. Because you know, as you've seen already, me and Andy, anyone in the playlist we can handle. But let's talk about the next game, Andy, because Oddball, like I mentioned, C9 just looked dominant, absolutely dominant on it, and it would be a surprise to me to see Optic take this game a type away from them.
I agree. I think Optic needs to come out. Bazaar, StelluR afforded them the opportunity several times, as you saw, to play a little bit slower, and it looks like Optic is excelling in those areas. C9 not as comfortable with those moments that do slow down. So Oddball on Recharge, what we're going to need to see from Optic is they need to be ready to play at the same speed that Cloud9 wants to play. And to be honest, I think with the way this series has gone, if they're able to get a decent lead, maybe a round one win, that's the kind of thing where C9 could maybe just get a little bit frustrated, maybe start to just push and rush a little bit and start to get a little unorthodox. And that's what Optic needs to do. Optic's not going to win game number 3 slowing it down. They need to play at the pace of C9 and even a little bit faster, get some sneaky back whack, start to get under the skin of C9.
Well, one game type that they did win, of course, in our previous series, Optic Gaming, was against Sentinels, and it was exactly this game type. So Oddball maybe isn't as weak as I think. I think they're obviously very good at it, but I just think Cloud9 are exceptional at it. So it's going to be an interesting one for sure. But Optic, they know what to do on this game type. And the opening strategy was something that we had a very keen eye on, Andy, because it seemed like TriPPPeY was always picking up a double kill.
Absolutely. I mean, what we saw from TriPPPeY last game, I mean, TriPPPeY better be uploading that game to YouTube with a full commentary, because that was an incredible game of StelluR. Absolutely insane numbers. And the guy played bottom so well, essentially 1v3ing for quite a while, whether he had rockets in hand or not. Very good control. And it tells us a lot about the ways that you can control that map, even when you don't have the top control points. But here we are. Let's get into game number 2.
Here we go then. Tied up at 1-1 in the series in our grand finals here. Couple of kills exchanged across the board. It doesn't look like it's quite as easy for TriPPPeY this time to pick up a double kill off the start, as a couple of kills are just going to be constantly traded off the bat here. It looks like it's a little bit of a stalemate, to be honest with you, as APG moves in for the beatdown onto Penguin. That will be exchanged straight away, and that's been the story off the bat here, Andy. Just kills being traded left and right.
It really has. And what's interesting in our game number 3 here on set is these two teams showing a little bit more mutual respect for each other. If C9 was up 2-0 in the series, you might see them maybe just getting like a cheeky ball pull and just trying to get the ball maybe top bat, maybe bringing it back to Whirlpool. Instead, these two teams, now that they've exchanged games and there's a lot more on the line here, and C9 can't play with that cushion, we're starting to see teams go for a little bit more slays early on. Get a little more control before you go for those grabs.
Well, it's going to be 2 who fall here for Cloud9. So Optic Gaming picking up those initial slays, but you can see just a little bit hesitant to move towards that ball. Maybe wait until they see those spawns come in, and that's going to cost them there. TriPPPeY just not being as proactive maybe as he could have been in that situation. The rest of C9 are now trapped over batteries, so the push is coming in, but the kills are falling to Cloud9 at the moment. The ball's still not being picked up by anyone at the moment. Only the 5 points on the board, but they are C9's points.
Yeah, this really can happen. I mean, you and I have seen it in the playlist, certainly in scrims as well. This can happen off of the rip here on a ball on recharge. It's not too uncommon where teams really want to get a little bit of slaying control, as StelluR's going to pick up another kill on Lucid before they do get that ball time. So very few points on the board relative to the time played here.
Renegade up in this power position, overlooking the big door, the garage door, towards the long haul. Waiting for any targets to pop around that corner. He'll find Ola, but Ola returns some fairly aggressive fire, and it looks like Renegade saying, all right, okay, we'll back down from that one, Ola. You win this battle for now. And that's going to allow them to push now as Renegade is back down. Great communication coming in. Pistola and team trying to move, but it looks like Cloud9, even though they don't have the ball, they've rotated away as the 1v1 with Eco breaks out, and Eco will win that one.
Yeah, those two players not catching each other right away. Eco is the one that comes out on top, but like you said earlier, like Ola with great shots from top yellow to give them the opening, and that really is the name of the game in Infinite. Can you anchor down the spots you need to give your team the openings on the routes, especially on a game like this? Lucid's going to want to do everything he can to stay alive. Reach! Oh my god! Repulsor's up with the camo to stay alive, drops down, gets a kill, picks up the ball. Again, this man's putting on a clinic.
Absolutely massive. However, his teammates just weren't close enough to get to him to pick up the slays that were required. But what a play that was. Not only, you know, getting into a position to get the camo, but then also getting into a position to repulsor up away from a player with the oddball as well, which has kind of been the name of the game at the moment. Get the oddball off of its spawn towards any kind of setup. And even though he made a big play, as you can see on the score, Cloud9 still not that far behind, but it looks like a setup starting to slowly form here for Optic Gaming. They have the pipes, they have yellow, and StelluR's trying to make a sneaky flank behind the ball carrier.
Yeah, the question is, where are the Optic spawners right now? It looks like they're going to be plat, and that's going to be a big contributing factor of where exactly this ball lands and ends up, because they're going to spawn plat, they're going to push pipes right away. It's a very good piece of pressure from them, and going to result in no ball time so far for C9. They need a few more kills here, though. They got to reslay.
Optic don't have to do too much, however. Mangler in the hands of one player will be a trade as APG comes in to pick up that ball. Moving away from that little window there by the commando to make sure that he doesn't get taken down, but he is taken down anyway. Renegade on the chase after this player who goes back to the grapple.
Oh, no.
However, he won't get that kill. And StelluR will move away with that ball.
I think it might have been Ola there on battery. He's able to pick up that grapple for a second and also stay alive on grapple, which is huge. And just like that, on the scoreboard, here we are, 34-13. It's a great play from TriPPPeY as he pushes in as well.
Trades across the board, though. Doesn't mean anything's going to really happen too much. APG with some great shots across, and you can see that Cloud9 are going to be spawning over at A at the moment. So that means an opportunity here for big ball time for Optic Gaming, as they do have the ball over at yellow, so a long way to traverse. But look at this rotation coming in as well. Really smart play.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be some battles here at control, which are going to be pretty key. It's a trade there between Penguin and TriPPPeY, so that means StelluR's going to be able to grab the ball top yellow and hold in attic.
Now they need to push out Turbine, make sure they have this side of the map locked down, and look at those spawns that come in. So this is a perfect setup now for Cloud9, and if they hold off one push, then they probably will go into the lead here, Andy, due to the time it's going to take for Optic Gaming to get back onto the map after that reset as they fall into the respawn screen. But look at this, two players just walk through pipes, and that's a hole in the armor.
Oh no! What?
As the grapple comes back in, he stays alive for now. Can he clean up APG? No, he can't, but you have to say maybe a bit of a mistake there from Cloud9.
Definitely a mistake. An impressive grapple to avoid his own nade off of top bat. I'm excited to see that one again, but I agree. I think you and I were thinking the same thing. On said, how is there no one watching pipes? How do two players come into pipes for free there and push the ball? That really can't happen.
Crazy as it sounds, though, they've managed to somehow get the ball out, stay alive, and rotate. So this is ridiculous from Cloud9. Everything's worked out in the most chaotic of ways. Another nade will go down here around the control tower, but Penguin's just kind of gone in there, picked up the pieces from the carnage, reassembled it into the shape of an oddball, and said, I'm quite happy to pick up this time, 62-48.
And how many times have we seen this from C9, down, I believe, by 20 or 30 points earlier, and just like that, they've turned this into a run. And like you said, they turned chaos into composure just now as they're able to continue this hold for what feels like an eternity in terms of a 100-point oddball round. They're already at the 75-point mark.
Just trying to survive for now, but Lucid comes in and will manage to pick up those kills. Eco will trade one out, though, so 2 dead momentarily for C9. As I say that, APG starting to heat up as well. He picks up another. Where's that oddball, though? That's the important thing. And where is Lucid? Lucid's here, and he picks up yet another kill with some assistance from a teammate. Survives as well. Ola will pick up another, and now it's a case of get that oddball in your hands because they need this time, Optic.
That's a camo grab. You see bottom middle. Curious where they're going to rotate this ball, though, as well. It's going to be straight to pipes here, as you're actually going to see Ola there. So it's a very good rotation. And honestly, rotation is something we haven't highlighted enough during today's broadcast. Very, very important when you're playing ball to have those rotations ready, just due to the speed of this game. You can absolutely win games on rotations alone.
Eco's the player to watch, though. With that camo, here's the ability to break a setup. He breaks some necks as he drops down there with some help from teammates to pick up that first kill. And that's just disrupting everything. And you can see at the moment that Optic Gaming are just chasing shadows. And that shadow is Eco, and he cannot be found.
Absolutely great stuff for him. And look at the scoreboard, just like that, 75-75. What was a 20-plus point lead for the side of C9 has been now totally negated. We are all tied up with only 25 points to go in round number 1 with 34 seconds on the board. These next holds will win the game.
Yeah, I think if APG gets grappled from that far away, Eco, I think something's wrong with your grapple, to be honest with you. That is a heck of a shot once more. Grenade comes in. He's going to have to be very, very careful to stay alive here. But this power position, when we watched this gameplay from the point of view of Optic Gaming yesterday, Eco was so devastating from this top yellow position.
Look at this, gonna grapple the ball up. Oh! Yes, grapples the ball to top yellow. It's a huge play with only 14 seconds left.
Absolutely massive from Eco. Big brain, pro gamer. That is what we're seeing right now as he moves towards his teammates spawning over at the turbine. All he needs to do is keep walking forward, or maybe it's going to be a grapple to the skies to help his teammates survive. Another player here on the pipes. Little shimmy, a little shake, a little shoulder shuffle coming in from Eco, but this is looking like if they pick up a kill or two more, this will be Cloud9's game.
That's right, they're going to drop the ball there, just let the time tick down rather than try to go for the 100. Very smart there, and what a play there, and we've seen it so many times on set, and you're starting to see just how important that grapple is going to go ahead and win them that round.
So impressive from Eco, just knowing, even after the game's been out just a few days, what you can do with the equipment, how you can have an impact on the game, and how you can win your team games. The grapple to pick up the oddball, excuse me, is going to be certainly one that will be in the highlight packages moving forward. I'm sure it will become a staple of Halo Infinite, but in the early game, Andy, seeing plays like that, people thinking outside of the box is so impressive to see.
Yeah, player there bottom middle in a very uncomfortable death position. It did not look like a place that any of us would want to be, but right now, no points on the board just yet. So a pretty similar start here. Once again, both teams going to try to feel each other out. It does take time to get the setup on these maps, and that's why you're seeing these teams try to slay out just a little bit before they actually go for those holds.
It certainly does, and respect being shown, like you mentioned, at the start of the game between both of these teams. And now it looks like a move might be being planned here by Cloud9. StelluR not being able to connect quite as he would have wanted on that player up in the attic. But you can see how they're focusing him, Andy. And now Penguin will move in on the flank through the pipes. And that is such a smart and coordinated play here by Cloud9.
Absolutely beautiful play. You know you cannot cut across bottom middle unless you have pressure on yellow tower. They send a player pipes. They control yellow tower. At the same exact time, StelluR grabs the ball, batteries, jumps up top yellow, and they're set up very nice here for the first hold of round 2.
StelluR with the ball in hand. Penguin with kills to his name. As he'll pick up an easy kill bottom middle here. You can see the Penguin's kind of been tasked with holding kind of a few different angles, trying to protect the pipes, trying to protect around his teammates and look bottom mid as well. And yes, you got to have your head on a swivel, but maybe a little bit too much responsibility, as Penguin will stay alive, but the ball is out of Cloud9's hands for now. But with a 24-point lead, they can just play StelluR for a few minutes here, Andy. They don't have to force anything.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nice little killing spree there for Penguin. Going to pick up another one on top bat as well. Add another one to his name and just try to stay alive at yellow for as long as he can. Might tries to grapple the ball just as the ball resets. So unlucky, does not get that off, and also going to challenge across top mid as well. Very good angles here, and that's why that top yellow position on set is so difficult. He's going to try to chain the ball all the way over, rotate here into Turbine, is able to do so.
Great play as the grapple towards the ball is completed. This time, Penguin will finally have the ball in his hands, and they are set up over at A here. You can see that StelluR is trying to push out the control tower as well. A nice trade on the other side of the map will mean that there will be staggered spawns for Optic Gaming, and Cloud9 starting to feel in control here. More in the hands of StelluR. The Mangler is going to hit finally, as he lost the target for just a few seconds there, trying to help out a teammate, but you can see the score at the bottom, man. It's just starting to tick up as finally Optic will get that ball out of their hands.
It's a very good rotation that you just saw from C9. Once again, they're able to pull it from batteries as it reset all the way into Turbine, using the grapple to be able to get there and get those holds. Like you said, gives them a very comfortable lead here. Then they're also going to toss bottom middle, so they're going to have a little bit of a cushion here, and looking pretty strong in this game number 3.
Cloud9 down by 2 players on the map at the moment. Eco, oh my word, Eco, hello? How do you win that one? That is absolutely ridiculous from Kevin Smith. And he manages to do it, and now he has the shock rifle, Andy, and this thing can be absolutely destructive to a setup, especially if you're holding one as well. Being able to hit that one-shot headshot really does just give you that advantage you're looking for, but he's not even going to get to fire a bullet.
No, yeah, Lucid's going to be the one who tries to do some damage with it across the map. He only gets to get a little bit of a burst off. He'll go down as well, and to be honest, we've seen, relatively speaking, very little shock rifle use today in terms of the matches we've seen on broadcast. I'm sure the thing has been a factor and a force in terms of off-screen matches, because we've seen online just how much damage it can do in scrims, whether you're talking about matches between any of these teams. So it's still, once again, though, in terms of the scoreboard, 40-0, the game will stay at this score mark, and still looking good for Cloud9. They're just going to continue playing this game.
Yeah, I don't think they have to do too much. They don't have to force too much at the moment. Pistola trying to do what he can, working with a teammate Lucid, but again, just the cover fire that's coming out of C9 right now is ridiculous. And even though Ola managed to do a little bit of damage on the way down, it's Eco who comes out on top, and he's back to his home. This is officially called the Eco spot forever, and I'm not talking about being eco-friendly. He's being the complete opposite here to Optic Gaming. He is being destructive.
Yeah, definitely not eco. Yeah, eco-destructive is certainly the best way to put it on set. You put it well, as Camo's going to sneak here. StelluR still bottom elevator. He's going to be behind his opponents and going to let them know that he does have these angles on pipes, but still no ball time. And with a minute left, take a look. I mean, C9 is very happy to just continue slaying.
Yeah, this would be the game. They've already got one round on the board, and as you say quite perfectly, they don't have to do anything. It's up to their opponents to make plays. APG is going to be one shot with that ball. TriPPPeY actually picks up two, but that one kill from StelluR, and the fact that he's got a mangler in this close quarters as well, it's just going to make picking up that ball almost impossible here for Optic Gaming.
I mean, they are just waiting and baiting. That is exactly what they're doing on this ball. They don't need to pick up any time. Once they got that 40-second hold, it gets a trade as well. They're going to be very happy here in terms of how things have gone, and maybe try to rotate the ball out just a bit. Yes, indeed, it plays back down to batteries. They're going to be happy with that as well.
So 35 seconds left, and every single second is going to have to be picked up by Optic Gaming. APG manages to get a few seconds, however, it's just highlighting where that ball is, where that player is, and by the looks of things, Andy, this one is done and dusted. No way for Optic Gaming to get back into this. Cloud9 are going to go up 2-1 in the series, and we are heading to our next map.
Yeah, let's see if Ola can try to get a pull here. He will, of course, pause that timer. We'll see if he can hold the ball. It looks like he will try to get away here. They'll put a little bit of points on the board, and let's keep in mind, if they're able to hold here and rack up some points, that clock will stay at 12 for as long as they're able to hold. It picks up another one, and going to try to make something happen here from the back of the base.
Yeah, as you say, they're going to have to hold on to this objective. If they pull this off, it would be a miracle. It would be a miracle, but crazier things have happened, to be fair. As now Pistola will move in and pick up a couple of kills. 5 seconds left now. Pistola, as you can see, that timer is stopping. And all of a sudden, I'm giving the game away. I'm saying we're heading to the next game with a series in a certain way. Pistola reminds us all that Infinite is a different kind of Halo.
Absolutely, you see that timer, excuse me, is going to halt as we do have a team scoring. So just like that, take a look
what
now.
Is going on?
Right here. Now it's going to be about to maybe get in if they can now tie the
what
game.
Is going
Might
on?
Try to play the ball here, and he's going to toss it off. And now that's going to be the game. That's going to be the game.
Oh my word! How have they done that? They turn it around. That is absolutely ridiculous from Optic Gaming. Ridiculous from Ola. And we head to another round, and I just wonder, is that brilliance from Optic, or is that a huge bit of laziness almost coming in from Cloud9, thinking they'd won that game? I'm not sure, but that's magic in my eyes.
That was 40-9 on the last hold was the score. As we said, Optic needed to hold and play perfectly. They let the clock down to 5 seconds. They did not drop in between that time, that 20-plus seconds of time, 30-plus, excuse me, seconds of time. They're able to pick up all that time, rotate the ball perfectly through control all the way to C, and Ola times the ball, play ball perfectly so that the clock would continue to tick down during the ball reset. Absolutely perfectly played, and once they had that control, no way for C9 to bounce back. An incredible round win, an incredible comeback, an incredible showcase of that new overtime mechanic in the oddball rounds as well.
I'm absolutely shook. I got to be honest with you. I am shook as a commentator that I've just seen that happen in front of it. I don't think you're allowing that to happen if you're C9. Pistola says, hey, as long as there's a second and there's a chance, there's always a way to win a game and win a round. And Pistola, his experience, that never say die attitude on display once more. And all of a sudden, it looks like Optic Gaming are coming back to life here, Andy.
I mean, they are, and now they have the bottom C hold as well. They're going to be rotating the ball down there, and right away, it's Lucid who has to check top control. He's got the sword out, just needs to watch this doorway, already baiting the doorway one. Repulsor's up! Let's see if he can get the double here.
No! Oh, he does get the double. A Lucid once again showing the sandbox, showing the equipment, and showing all of the skill to everybody who's watching right now.
Absolutely beautifully played. It took him an extra second on the second kill, but not to worry because they're going to be very happy with the time. And look at this, already 50-2 in our round 3 of this oddball match.
I said I was shook by the looks of things. I think C9 are as well, because this has just been Envy dominating as once again Lucid hit some crazy shots. But if I've learned anything, Andy, it's that this game ain't over till it's over. Penguin will pick up one, and maybe that's the opening here that Cloud9 needs. TriPPPeY manages to answer back though. So 3v3 on the map. TriPPPeY almost manages to get away with the ball, and actually does so as his teammate comes in to help him. But this is looking like a playable situation. Yes, it is. TriPPPeY will throw that one off the map. They are more than happy with the lead they've managed to establish.
Yeah, he's going to play that ball perfectly. It looks like Ola trying to make something happen bottom middle, but it's going to be a double kill for StelluR as well. But like you said, a 67-14 lead here. This has been an amazing game number 3, back and forth oddball. Another kill for StelluR bottom middle as well. He will pop the camo that did not get popped, but it will be burned in the end. 1 dead apiece.
C9 will ball in hand for just a few moments here, holding it around batteries. And look at the cover fire that Eco's managing to pick up from his teammate. Not only that, he's hitting some decent shots himself. And when you're holding the ball here, Andy, and you're getting cover fire and you're managing to rack up time, that is a great example of the angles that C9 are taking and the positions of power they have under their name.
Absolutely. Finally, we'll go down in Turbine as well, and TriPPPeY's going to be the one holding down top yellow. Knows that he needs a little more help on pipes and the Turbine angle, though, so he's going to try to fly around bat, see if he can find someone. Penguin is the kill that he finishes, and doing so well to get this damage across the map as well. He's going to wait for his opponent, wait for his teammates, excuse me, but then they're going to push Turbine here.
Here comes the push then. TriPPPeY trying to get some sort of angle on the ball. It'll be thrown out by Renegade or towards the teammate. He grapples forward. The grapple shot is followed up by the shots as he manages to take that player down. Lucid picks up another, but they've both been traded out. So a 2-for-2 split across the map at the moment. Ball down, but it's actually looks like it's still in the control of C9 as Penguins managed to steal it away.
Showing perfect use of offensive and defensive grapples there. Grapples in to finish very confidently on the top elevator. Also grapples out to avoid the sightline there. Really nice use there. Using that to get exactly where he needs to do. You could check angles faster. You could be where you need to be faster for your teammates as they're trying to make something happen in control. But just like that, look at the score on the board.
Yeah, the score is starting to swing one way after it started another. Penguin, that's 2 for you. Easy cleanup duty, but you're still going to hit your shots as you pick up your prize, which is a flaming oddball. And now we are going to see that lead change, Andy. It will be Cloud9 who go into the lead. And a reminder, this is like a micro best of 3 oddball now on Halo Infinite. If they win this round, they will win map number 2. Map number 3.
This round wins the game, just as Onset said. It will be a few deaths coming in for Optic once again. As you see, Lucid's the one taken down. What does Renegade do with this camo? This is a pretty big one. He's been found out, but can he get away bottom middle? Looks like the answer is yes.
Cover fire, wow, from StelluR. That is so impressive. Coming in from C9, he will not get the trade though, as APG manages to take him down. The ball is down as well, so this is not all done yet, as Optic Gaming manages to move into a position as they pick up some kills to maybe move back on that ball. They do have a little bit of a lead here, Optic, by the looks of things, and they just need to hold off now and not make those mistakes that C9 made.
Yeah, it doesn't get the trade there, bottom control. We'll have to see if they play this. Penguin just keeping an eye on ball, but he'll die from control as well. So Optic will maintain the control side. They'll be going up against C9, who right now has the yellow and the attic held down pretty well. Some trades being exchanged in long haul, but this, once again, this next ball grab, so important here. A very different round in terms of the pacing of the scoring here, but right now, only 2 points separating these two.
Oh, the awareness of Ola. He saw Eco for just a second. He realized he could get underneath him without being in his line of sight. He then spins around knowing that he might have flanked, and then he hits the shots. Ola is doing some insane stuff at the moment here in our game number 3, and he seems to be just dragging the rest of his team forward.
As we said, these are just Ola things that he's been doing all day, and right now starting to do some nice damage from top yellow. Has to check pipes as well, and it's going to be StelluR, the first one that he finds.
Ooh, big win though from StelluR. That's going to slow down Pistola for just a few seconds. Once again though, looking at stats, 17 and 10 for Lucid. A big performance, but this is just a couple of point game here as TriPPPeY will pick up that ball. He'll throw it towards the attic as well, and it will be picked up by his teammate Lucid. And now we see Optic Gaming with an opportunity to maybe get back into the lead, but have they just presented the ball back? to C9 in a position where they cannot access it themselves.
And look at that, Lucid tries to play the ball off of Attic, but it doesn't slip all the way off, so actually Renegade actually able to stay alive in Attic this long, which is huge, and also I think it's a great need. We'll trade with Trippy. It's a big trade for Renegade, but just like that, here we are, 87-88. You could not ask for a better grand finals here.
1 second, but it's 88 in the favor of Cloud9 here, Andy, and it's going to be up to Optic just to get their hands on that ball once more. C9 have just about done enough, but they have got their hands on the ball, and now it's a 1 second lead here for Optic Gaming, and they have control of long haul too.
Look at this now, 91, only 9 seconds left here if they're able to close this one out. They need to just get the slays here. They're already seeing players coming bottom long haul, top long haul. It's a grapple out. Renegade's not going to see Ola. He might be able to swing behind and get these kills again.
That grapple is absolutely massive from Ola to get into that position to stay alive.
There you go.
With that, Optic Gaming, who were down and out just a few moments ago, somehow they turn it around. And if you weren't a fan of Oddball, well, you might be now. The changes have been brilliant as Optic Gaming go up 2-1.
Unbelievable game. We're going to see what Lucid's stats were there. I believe he went 18-12 in that game. He is not letting the foot off the gas, and man, what was certain to be in terms of anyone would have guessed that Cloud9 was going to close that out with that 30+ point lead towards the end of that second round, but it's a reverse sweep within the Oddball game type itself to win that. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Here's the total kills from that entire game, and the way our eyes go is going to be Lucid 44-39, Penguin there 43-30. On C9.
Yeah, I mean, it's tight between everyone, right? Everybody's putting up numbers there. It could not have been tighter, Andy. I still don't know. I need to watch that round 2 back. How that was allowed to happen from C9. I can't work it out. Like, the pieces don't go together. It's like getting a jigsaw that doesn't quite, you know, you got the piece. I don't know where I'm going with this. Basically, I don't know how it worked, but it worked. And Optic with a comeback that will be remembered for some time. And now we move into another game.
Absolutely wild. Take a look at the damage dealt. Several players hitting 1,000 there. Penguin and Lucid, unsurprisingly, being the ones. And let's take a look at the highlights from that Oddball, because what a match it was on set.
Yeah, absolutely crazy stuff. I mean, Lucid's movement has been something that has been a standout, I think, for everybody who's been watching, as well as his shots. I'll be honest with you, everything he's done has been pretty damn good and pretty damn impressive so far today. And this round 1, this was a little bit back and forth once again. It was just a final hold from C9 that gave him that round 1 win, Andy.
It really was an unbelievable set of plays for C9, the way they started this game. I mean, once they started this game the same way they did, they looked so strong. Let's remind everyone who might just be joining, coming into these grand finals, Cloud9 had not dropped a map. By the way, huge play from Eco to close out this game and end up winning it. But Cloud9 had not dropped the map. They've dropped the last 2 maps in an incredible series of games from Optic Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, this is the round, though. This is the round. I thought it was done. I thought it was dusted. I was getting ready to move forward. Move on with my life. Hey, I should know better by now. Halo Infinite's been out, what, 45 minutes, it feels like? But we're already getting history being made, and I just want to see what happened at the end. Look at this. When you hold the Oddball, the timer doesn't tick over. It's 42-17. Pistola went insane.
With 5 seconds left, able to hold that down, and they needed to hold it the entire time. Then look at this from Lucid as well. Early on, Repulsor jumps to top, anticipates the top jump from Renegade. The first slice doesn't hit. The second swipe does, and look at that, picking up even more kills. Optic, my God, what a comeback win from them. Already a pretty historic match, and they're looking to send this series a distance on set, but the job is not done just yet.
No, I feel like this series is taken a lot out of me already, and we've only done 3 games. Like, it's the best of 5. This is ridiculous. But with that being said, Andy, Optic Gaming, if they win this one, we get to do it all over again. We get another best of 5 coming your way, as we will see a grand finals reset. And I mean, what a performance that would be, right? It's just the first stage of anyone in this bracket was to take a game off of C9, to take a series off them. That's a big ask, and they're looking like they want to answer that.
It absolutely is, and we have a very different series and a very different conversation on our hand if we had seen C9 close that out in the second round, just in terms of not just the score on the board in terms of games, but also momentum and the way everyone's feeling. And guess what, Onset? We're going right into game number 4 right away.
Hell yeah, brother. That's what I want to see. I want to see us getting straight into gameplay as we head into game number 4 of our series, but it looks like we're not quite ready as yet. Apologies for the full start, everyone. Hey, the game's just come out. Don't worry about it. We're letting it out early, okay? Look, come on. Give us a little bit of time here. But let's talk about Streets, Andy, because we haven't seen it yet in the series. Strongholds, we know how it plays a little bit now. Teams are starting to formulate those strategies.
Absolutely, and Stronghold Streets, we're going to just need to see the same speed out of Optic that they used on the end of the second half of Oddball Recharge. What's interesting here is one of my keys to victory here for Optic that I mentioned earlier is get under the skin of C9. I would safely say that if you're on the C9 squad, that is a very frustrating loss. I don't care how good your attitude and your mental is. That is a very, very frustrating loss in what they, I'm sure, thought was going to be a clean 2-0 win in ball on Recharge. So right now, Optic needs to take advantage of that. Get into an early lead here. Make sure you're sliding in just a little bit faster. Keep C9 on the back foot. Block the sightlines you need to. Maybe be a little bit sneaky once again with team shots that might be unexpected. If they're able to do that early on in Stronghold Streets, I think they could take this game and the series.
I think a very interesting way to put it is that I want Optic to be asking questions of C9. Put them on, like you mentioned, put them under pressure. Take a 1v1 fight. Make them hit those shots. And if they do so, and they come out on the good side of things, that Optic Gaming could be sending us to a bracket reset. It has been a wonderful grand final so far, but now it's up to the streets, and it's over to the streets to decide who is going to take this next game.
It has been a wonderful final indeed. I'm just having a blast. A huge shout out once again to everyone joining us here. It's been an amazing week for Halo. Make sure you tweet out this stream, post about it, make sure everyone knows what's going down here with these amazing grand finals between these two teams. It's been an amazing evening for the Halo community across all regions when we look at every single Australia, New Zealand, LATAM, Europe, and now North America to round out an amazing first weekend. Here we go, game number 4 on Streets.
The shot's going to be exchanged at the start here. Rocket launcher so vital to hold down. Even though there's only 2 in the chamber, we know that on a small map, it really can make the difference. Renegade and APG going to pick up kills for their respective sides. But off the bat here, it looks like it will actually be C9 who win these fights. Bulldog in the hands of one player, though. And that's going to be Ola who picks up one. And I'm pretty sure that was actually the Rockets that went down momentarily.
It was. Ola just gets shot out of the Bulldog a few frames prior to going down. Maybe to the Rockets, but doesn't get the Rockets. Is not able to sneak away with them. That's going to cause them a little bit of frustration. They're going to have to reset just a bit. We'll see. Ola goes for try number 2 and flies up to C. Maybe even gets lucky there with the timing and just happened to work out. Rockets the back of the base, but Penguin gets the better of him.
Such a smart position from Penguin as well. Not playing at the back, playing a little off angle. You saw Pistola jumped in for the contest to see if he could make a play there and stop that stronghold falling away from them. He wasn't able to due to the positioning of Penguin. The rocket does not connect, and now it will be B and C in the hands of Cloud9, and don't be surprised to see them try and push for A2.
Absolutely. They expect them to play a very fast-paced game here. They're already trying to think about A, as TriPPPeY's going to make sure to stay up on that and get the kill on Tires. Very important kill there. And one thing we're going to keep an eye out is definitely the amount of trip caps that these teams do and don't go for, because this game playing a little bit different than Halo 5 in terms of the speed that you want to be able to trip cap and whether or not you go for it.
Renegade with the Stalker rifle in his hand, and if you haven't used this weapon yet, trust me, you need to. It is devastating, as you can see there. A couple of shots going in from Renegade to clear that player out of B. His teammates are going to move over, and I kind of like this. Renegade with the Stalker rifle has the opportunity to hold down one of these alleys and could cause a huge amount of damage all on his own.
Right, just doing some nice damage there, able to keep his shields, at least a quarter of them here as he's continuing to watch Neon. I do like the Neon flank as well, and I'm going to be able to pick... No, actually, doesn't pick up one kill because Lucid and Ola helping each other out there on the Neon street. So now we go back over to the side of APG. Right now, just to check in on the scoreboard, you've got 63-17 in favor of C9 off of the rip.
C9 done a really good job of holding B as well and kind of rotating between A and C as the stronghold that they want to hold alongside B. B gives you that kind of vantage point, right, where you can kind of rotate between the two. A very strong priority for teams to hold that down. A gives you the ability to shoot from height, but in this sort of small nature of the stronghold, it's actually quite difficult to get back unless you push out B. So it looks like Optic Gaming at the moment are just trying to prioritize where they want to go, and it looks like they're a little bit unsure as Eco wins another 1v1 against APG.
Yeah, they're going to be very happy about that. And like you said, it's a big question of when you do have the pressure on and when you're unsure if the enemy team is split spawning. You have to know exactly which strongholds you want to go for and which you can play the advantage, because it is very difficult to maintain anything like a trip cap for very long. So knowing what your next priority is and which two you're holding at all times is going to be so important for these teams.
Renegade manages to clear this player out of the red room. The shots are going to come in, and Renegade once again prioritizing his Stalker rifle. He will not get the shot initially. He's made to work extremely hard for this kill, but finally puts the Stalker rifle away and decides maybe the BR is best for this particular situation. But this is the kind of situation where it can be so devastating. Just a couple of shots is going to pop the shields. Another one to the head will end the battle. And now C9 look like they're starting to run away with things just a little bit here, but finally a momentary piece of control for Optic, but that's going to be turned around as the battle goes down for 8.
Yeah, absolute chaos there for the side of Optic, and C9's gonna be very happy with how all that went down because it lets them get 111 point, not lead, excuse me, but 111 points on the board to just 27, and more kills coming in for StelluR as he's on the prowl at Arcade, going to check Red Room and also be ready for the C angles. This is what I'm talking about. This game and this level specifically, so many little nooks and crannies and spots that you can watch. StelluR's just going to sit this and watch B Street and make sure that no one pushes out. Everyone else is going to be able to watch bottom mid and Neons, and we'll have to see how long he holds this because Trippy's on these stairs right now.
That nade's going to give some information, though. Or it might give some information, although we don't have the nade markers on anymore, thank goodness. But StelluR now relocating as the thrust comes in. He's not going to get the thrust, but he's going to get the beat down as well. So a really big trade on a player who you could argue had a movement advantage on him. APG now moving up into the A nest, the A stronghold, over by Tower to try and lock that one down as his teammates are moving towards B a little bit themselves. But you can just look at the bottom at the moment. It's just a little bit of carnage, a little bit of confusion on the sides of Optic about what they actually want to push here, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, controlling for just a bit. We'll see if they can try to get a, looks like no C reset for them. They do have points ticking up pretty healthily. They're going to be happy with how that one went down. In the end, off screen, we didn't track exactly what happened with Rockets. We'll keep an eye in case there might be still one in the chamber or something like that. Trippy trying to thrust and stay alive here in the Red Room. It's not going to be very easy for him as that is getting converted and might even win this battle somehow. I don't even know.
No
Finally goes down. Eco will clean that up, unsurprisingly, and he'll go back into B as well. But a little bit of chaos there and a little bit of control for a moment for Optic, but just like that, once again, it's C9 scoring.
Point of view of Eco, then a couple of plasma grenades can be thrown towards the back of A, and that's because the call out has come that it was a cafeteria spawn. It looks like they want to try and defend C together here as one player on his team will fall ahead of him. StelluR goes back into the respawn screen for now, and you can see that he's just trying to be the anchor here between the two strongholds. If they can pick up kills on either, if there's any engagements, then Eco's in a position to rotate across and just finish off the damage. There's a perfect example of it. Great positioning. A reset comes in from Eco as well. That's really smart play coming out of Eco.
Eco doing so well. Look at the times of thrust to get into red as well. Just playing this textbook, doing so well. He's going to clean up Trippy on the pillars. 3 coming in, though. He's taking out the first one. He's going to need help with the next 2, but not to worry because help is more than on the way as they all push caution and back PD together. Perfect team shotting, perfect movement together on set.
Yeah, that's just beautiful to watch, to be honest with you. The way that Eco's moved initially, it was a wonderful example of, you know, prioritizing what you need to prioritize, picking up the kills, then rotating, staying alive for long enough for your teammates to come and join you, and then re-engaging. It was wonderful to watch, to be honest, from C9. There's not too much you can do about that kind of teamwork if you're on Optic Gaming.
Renegade with the rocket grab into Arcade. The first one looks like hits, but Red Room's going to be chased away, going to stay alive, and have to use the second, not the way he might have wanted that to go, because Trippy and Ola work together here as they're going to be converting 2 of them. This game not over yet, but getting very close, only 13 seconds away.
StelluR picking up a big kill, though. 2 have fallen now. As like you say, this is looking like it might be a Cloud9 game, but I've said that one before and Optic surprised me. So Optic, they've got to pull the rabbit out of the hat once more here. A couple of grenades going to go down from Lucid, but it's going to be met with about 300 coming in from the rest of Cloud9. That will be the end of the game as Cloud9 answer back. And we go to a game 5.
And would we want to have it any other way on set? 250-64 is the final there, and that is a blowout, the biggest blowout we've seen. Really, you could say the only blowout of this series, as C9 makes that game look so different than the rest of the series that we've had so far. But there's no other way we'd want this to go on set. In our grand finals, we're going to a game number 5. As a reminder, if Optic win, we go to a second best of 5. If Cloud9 wins this, they will win the very first Halo Infinite HCS event.
On the other side of things, if Optic win it, we do it all over again. We reset the bracket. We go for a fresh best of 5. Here's some of the stats from that last game. And I tell you what, Renegade is some player. 17-7, I think it was there.
It was,
if
yeah.
I caught that one right. A +10 for him. And to be honest with you, it seemed like it was done in almost no time. 250-64 to put up those kind of stats, and he's pretty nuts.
Eco also the only player to have 5 captures as well in the game, making sure to be all around the map in a big way that he needed to. So just all in all, and a fantastic work from C9. And to be honest, that's the C9 that we saw all tournament long on set. So anyone who's just joining the grand finals, you might think, wow, that's a great game from C9. That's what we're used to seeing from them. However, Optic has also put up a great fight, but we'll take a look at some highlights from that game as well.
Let's jump into those then and just remind ourselves of the story that brings us to that game 5 that we're about to see. Streets, Strongholds. It was just kind of the story of it for me was a little bit like we've seen when we've seen the good games of Oddball. I know that sounds like a strange thing to say from C9, right? Just constant kind of rotations around an anchor point. B was the anchor point for C9, and then they would work C, they would work A as it was applicable, but away from those respawns.
Absolutely. Look at Lucid winning that battle. That's a battle he had absolutely no business winning. But look at this play from Eco. Right away, you just saw them cap from B. He flies to front C, and he gets the angles that the side of Optic was not ready for. That is the name of the game in Strongholds. It also comes into play in Ball. You need to be able to fly to those angles just like that front C to catch your opponent's off guard. You have to play this game so fast, and it's that speed that lets them win a game with a score of 250-64. But on set, only one game left in the series.
One game left in the series, but will it be the last game of the day? That's the bigger question here. Will Optic Gaming be able to send it to a reset? And we're going to live fire for Slayer now, Andy, which I gotta be honest with you, this game type can be very fast paced. It can be a little bit all over the place if you're not on your P's and Q's. And I don't know who that kind of prefers, you know, what team is going to prefer that at the moment, because Cloud9, they like playing a high intensity. Optic Gaming, we saw them won the Slayer earlier on Bazaar when it got a little bit fruity, it got a little bit interested. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how this is going to go, but part of me wants Optic to win so we get more Halo. I'm just going to say, okay?
I'm with you just because I want more Halo Infinite tonight. I do not want this broadcast to be over. I cannot wait a week till the next tournament. I want to see more Halo as well. I'm with you. This game type could play pretty, to be honest, just pretty funky, like you said, in terms of the way that it plays and pacing. One thing that's going to be amazing is we're going to have power-ups in play. We're going to have Sniper in play. And when you put these two teams together, it's just going to be an amazing match. And this game's going to really ebb and flow. You're going to see moments of speed where teams are trying to collapse on areas like the base, like tower. You're also going to see things slow down to a halt where players are waiting for a power up to pop. Maybe they're waiting for a player to go on the flank with a bottom mid route, timed in combination with something like a top mid push, as well as pillars and dummies. So you're going to see a lot of coordination here, and really this game's, like I said, is going to go through different kind of levels of speed, and it's really which team can control the majority of that will come out on top. Game 5, Cloud9 and Optic Gaming coming up right now.
Well, here we go then. Everybody watching right now, this is what we wanted from a grand final. Make sure you tweet the stream out. Make sure you get all of the eyes that are available onto this game 5, because it's Cloud9 versus Optic. It's all tied up. If Cloud9 win, they will be your champions, but Optic Gaming have already shown so much heart through this bracket. They fell down to that lower bracket early to the hands of Cloud9. They've beaten the likes of G2. They've beaten the likes of Sentinels to get here, Andy. And I tell you what, the revenge story against Cloud9 sounds like a pretty good one if you're an Optic fan.
It does indeed. Here we go. Game number 5, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to see which team is able to get the first picks, get that first advantage on this push.
Looks of things, it's going to be Trippy who gets the opening kill. However, traded out straight away. Penguin and APG will trade out once more. So a 3-1 start here in the hands of Optic Gaming. So the green wall looks like it's growing strong right now at the start of this game, but a long, long way to go.
Yes, indeed. Also, welcome to everyone here, hitting some great numbers also across the board in terms of viewers here. Welcome along to the grand finals. You picked a perfect time to tune in, as it's a 5-1 lead here off of the rip for Optic Gaming. And almost a trade that doesn't come in, though, surprising. So C9 will pick up another kill on the board, but look at Optic here off of the rip, 7-2.
7-2. As Penguin fall as well. Make that 9 now, and all of a sudden the sniper rifle has fallen into the hands of this tower play here. Eco picks up one in the kill feed as Trippy now has that sniper. Looking over towards the nest. Eco playing this one nice and slowly, though. You can see just in the outlines there, not giving anything away. But Renegade, I think, is actually the player. It might be a little bit of a harder bug here, who has the sniper in his hand. So Renegade's that top tower at the moment. Pistola having a little look around the sandbag, seeing if he can make a play. But nobody poking at the moment. This is almost as if nothing's happening, as finally the shot does come in. It will only be a body shot, though. That won't count towards those kill totals.
Absolutely. Just staying alive here. Top tower as long as you can here. Trying to see what might be happening towards the outside as well, and just going to stay alive. Knows that players might be pushing pillars here, but this is what we talked about. This game can definitely slow down and go kind of in these different bursts of speed, and that's what we're expecting to see. Trippy just still hanging out up top, just staying alive here on top tower.
Yeah, this is going to be Optic Gaming with the tower set up. TriPPPeY has an opportunity to hit some shots. A little bit of a poke of a shoulder, a little bit of a poke of a head. Around the brute pillars, just narrowly misses that shot as well, but turns his attention away straight away as two of his teammates now have fallen by the looks of things. So a 2-for-2 trade, 17-9, and this is perfect now for Optic Gaming because they have the opportunity to control the pace of the game, but what they have done is let Penguin slip away and get that camouflage, and that's a big push now from C9. They have camo and they have sniper in the hands of Penguin.
And you have to wonder, he's going to rotate snipe. We thought about it, but instead just going to maybe go for the backpack. Does find two players back tower, and they're going to be able to collapse on that very well and stay alive. Yes, so that's big. Now here we are, just like that, a 6-kill game. It looked like the deficit could get even stronger, but Penguin doing so well to stay alive with this camo and the snipe. Only one shot left in the snipe, but they do bring the game within 6.
One shot left in the snipe, but if he hits a headshot, don't be surprised to see the rest of C9 just collapse almost immediately onto the other side of the map where they have those numbers in their favor. 21-14 the score. As he will be taken down by a grenade, so there's still one magic bullet left in that sniper rifle for now. TriPPPeY tries to put the pressure onto Eco. Will stay alive for now. Eco's going to reach out. And he will lose that fight to TriPPPeY as well. So 23-14. Still close between these two teams, but a 9-kill advantage now for Optic Gaming.
Absolutely, and they're going to be very happy with that. And they have the garage trap spawns. I love this. He fakes garage, maybe goes back to top A, and just going to check these angles. They don't need to force that, and this is great discipline from Optic Gaming. He doesn't push garage. He would have faced a triple team, and now instead they know they can't push out. So right now Renegade has a chance to open this game back up, though, but they are down by quite a margin.
Oh, this is such a nervy game. You can feel the adrenaline just running through all of these players right now. There's going to be some shaky palms, some sweaty ones as well, to be honest with you, and every single bullet is going to count. Renegade just trying to find any opportunity that he can to hit a shot. As that camouflage is going to be popping in around 10 seconds or so. So this side of the map is Cloud9's for now, but here comes the push now from Optic.
Look at this double push coming in now on garage door. This is going to spell disaster here potentially for Renegade. He's only going to try to stay alive through these no-scopes.
No-scope, but no! He does manage to hit the kill. He does manage to at least trade 1-for-1. It's maybe not what they would have wanted, but at least it's something. StelluR now moves in to pick up another. 28-20, make it 21, and that's the kind of push that C9 make.
Camo still up. Also, Ola's in trouble on dummies. We'll have to see if TriPPPeY has the help that he needs. And APG with the bottom mid flank. That's a huge route from APG.
Massive from APG. So smart to take that extra second. But look at this. Renegade's jumped over the top of one player, but that player's turned into a ghost. And now Renegade can't finish it off, but finally manages to do so. 31-23 the score. Still a lead here for Optic Gaming, who have picked up the camo as well.
That camo was up for 45 seconds, if not more. That's such a late camo grab, and that tells you just how much chaos there was around the outside of the map. No one was able to grab it. Now we have Lucid here. He might repulsor to top middle. Yes, he repulsors up with the wave. That's a great play. Now getting the angles top middle with the heat wave in hand, as well as the camo, and he can just do things like this. It's beautiful movement from Lucid. He's not done yet as they extend their lead by just a bit here. Now up by 8.
This is one shot though, and he does go to try and repulse that player back. That might be a little bit of a misstep, even though the stats are looking good for Lucid right now at 13-6. Those kind of kills, if you secure them, it just makes you feel a little bit more comfortable, but comfy is how Optic Gaming will be feeling for now. They have 37 kills to their name, almost a 10-kill advantage still, but never, ever count out C9.
Lucid tries to push that. They do get the trade with 1 kill, though. Let's see if TriPPPeY can win this. Will be big. That's a trade. Optic's going to be happy with that, just given the trajectory of the game. They're still up by 8 here, 40-32 with 6 minutes left. Optic just needs to continue playing the way they've been doing, and they'll win this game. C9 needs to make a change of pace.
It's a very un-C9 performance at the moment. It's been slow, it's been methodical. Usually they're the ones who try and be the aggressors, but they're just not being allowed to at the moment just because of the shots that are being hit here by Optic Gaming. Lucid now trying to move up on that sniper rifle, and he should be able to grab this one uncontested as well. So escapes down to bottom middle, and he'll find the wave as well. So double weapons in the hands of Lucid here. Hits a nice no-scope to the body, but he'll be taken down.
Looks like Penguin might go down as well there on the side, so we'll have to see. Actually, he stays alive with that snipe, so we're going to keep a very close eye on that C tower region now. 42-36. This game very far from over. Cloud9 looking to have the comeback upset. Now 37-42. If they close this game out, hits the no-scope. Yes, indeed. Penguin's not done. Takes down TriPPPeY in the back of the tower, just like that. 3-kill game.
Had to hit that shot, had to clean up that kill, and had to keep that sniper in their hands, and he did all 3 of those. Tick, tick, tick for Penguin. And now he has the opportunity to hit some more shots. This has all of a sudden got extremely close and even more nervy for for both Cloud9 and Optic Gaming fans. The real winners here, Halo Infinite fans. This is the kind of thing you can expect from Halo Esports.
This has been amazing here, 42-40 now. It was an 8-kill lead for Optic, now just a 2-kill lead, and here comes the push starting to go front A, front sandbags. Optic is going to need to have the most coordinated push on this tower player if they want to take back setup.
Penguin's just baiting himself at the moment. Teammates are kind of moving around, trying to see if they can get any kind of flank. Looks like the power-up has disappeared as well. Renegade working with a teammate bottom middle here. Eco's trying to push across and see if he can get some angles. It looks like Optic Gaming a little bit turtled up in the base at the moment. One play will be picked up, though, by Optic. That's absolutely massive. And look at the score. All of a sudden, it's tied up 44-44. The body shot. Will he be able to clean up APG here, Penguin? It doesn't look like he will.
Just like that, these kills being exchanged. We're only seeing it from the tower POV. A few kills going in down there, bottom middle, as well as front A, and still neck and neck. And here we are. This next camo is going to be big, up in 15 seconds. And we still have Penguin here watching pillars. And this next camo grab could decide the game.
All eyes on the camo. All eyes on Penguin. APG knows there's a player back here, but look at this angle. Penguin not showing anything. APG trying to do the same, and I just wonder if this is a bait here. If C9 are going to try and make a push around the back of this, because they can bait them in. A body shot going to be hit. Here comes a big push. Penguin take it down. Optic Gaming showing huge cojones to force their way forward, and now they find themselves in a battle, 47-46. Oh, this couldn't be closer, Andy.
Absolutely not. Take a look at that, as it's just going to be a few kill difference here. I think that's a 48. It's very small on our screen, but it's only a 1-kill game here either way, as they're going to try to get the kills. And still, once again, 48 has been picked up. Yes, indeed, 48-48. Now only 2 kills to go here. This camo is going to decide it.
Well, one player's trapped here, though, and Optic are going to push onto him. They're going to get the kill.
No!
Oh, my word! How did they get that kill? It's 49-49. Oh, and Trippy will win it! Trippy will win it for Optic Gaming. I don't know what to say.
Got to be kidding me there. Unbelievable set of plays. Renegade wins a kill he should not have won on the back of the power-up. Ladies and gentlemen, Optic wins our first best of 5 in a 50-49. They reset the bracket. We are going the distance tonight, and I could not be happier. I cannot wait to see highlights. We're going to have to see if replay can get what exactly went down in the final moments there, but it's 50-49. I don't know how C9 did not get the kill on the pillars either, but let's take a look at some of the stats.